Hi, my name is Violet Wanjiru. I am the founder and CEO of Fresh Grinds and Blends, which is a company that manufactures spices and also goes into value addition of other food products. I was born and raised in Nairobi. I am the seventh of 8 children. We are 6 girls and 2 boys. I grew up in a Christian home where we would pray and have fellowship and read the Bible every day as a family, and that really is my upbringing, and it has been one of the things that have really guided me in my journey, my professional journey, and now in my journey as an entrepreneur. I schooled in Nairobi. That was my primary school. For high school, I went to St. Mary's Girls in Goji, that was in Meru. And then I left the country and I went to pursue my higher education, where I did my BSc degree in biochemistry, microbiology, and botany. Those were my subjects. After which I came back home and was employed in various companies. Finally ended up starting up my own company as an entrepreneur, and that is where Fresh Grinds and Blends came from. Fresh Grinds and Blends is a company that essentially makes spices. Our spices are 100% pure and natural. So each of these is made from the natural product, and then it is dried. We dry it, we dehydrate it, and then we mill it and we pack it under very hygienic conditions. What happens is that we are trying to get as much nutrient into our products as possible, and also to not use any preservative or any additive in any of our products. So we essentially work with small scale farmers around the country to get our various products. Now we have about 25 different products. So all of this, we have different farmers who are growing them, and then we get the best product that we can, mostly from small scale farmers, and then we process them at somewhere in Roiro, after which we pack them, we mill them, we pack them, and then we sell them. 2019 is when we started. We wanted to do meat processing at the onset. We tried to make sausages. We have eaten sausages all our lives and felt that there was something that was missing in that product, and wanted to make a better product of the sausages that we're eating. And so that started the journey of production. In the making of sausages, the first step that I took was to go and do a bit of research, and while doing the research, discovered that kwa ground mambo ni different. You think you can do it one way, and then when you make it, you end up with a totally different product. So I started trying to make it. I bought the machines, I bought the equipment, and I started mixing my spices to make my sausages. But they were not coming out right. So a friend of mine advised me to go to Kirdi. In Kirdi, this is where you go to learn how to standardize your product. And when I went there, the first thing that I was taught was that you have to own your entire process. That means from the point of the farm and bringing it all the way up to you have a packaged product, you need to own and take control of the entire process. Why was that? So that you can avoid contamination. If somebody else has done the spices that I was going to use for those sausages, then my whole product would be contaminated. And so I was taught how to make spices to begin with. In that process, what happened was my trainer helped me to make my first batch. I made some garlic powder, I made some paprika, I made some ginger and black pepper and a few others. Then she took it and she gave it to me, and she told me, this is your product, which was wonderful. I was very excited about that product. But she went and she got the one that is sold regularly in the shop, and this was paprika. And she gave me and she told me, smell this. And I smelt it, and it was a normal paprika. Then she told me, try yours now. And when I tried it, the aroma, the smell, the color, everything was so rich and so beautiful. And I realized this is something unique. I wondered, what have we been eating all this time? And it opened my mind to understand that sometimes what we are used to eating and getting in the supermarket is not necessarily the best quality or the best that is available. And that started me on my journey of making spices. I love good food. I feel like food is an experience. It's part of our journey. Every time that we would sit around the table as a family in the evening, we would always know that we are anticipating good food after that. I traveled a bit and I went to different places, and every time food became a very personal thing. I want to eat very nice tasting food. How do we get that to happen? That was a bit of my inspiration, because dry, bland food is a very sad thing. So that inspired me now to go out and to make something. I am also a scientist by profession, and so just by understanding what goes into our food, that becomes a key part in my wanting to make a product that is very hygienically made and that is very rich and that is very pure in its content. This is 100% ginger. This is 100% ginger. So that was part of my inspiration, that I want to give to other people. That first experience that I got of tasting something that is rich and full and exciting, that is what I wanted to share, and that has become my inspiration. It has become the direction that my products are taking and my company is taking. So 2019, we started with the sausages, but then the sausages did not work out. Why? Because they looked nice, they felt nice. I followed all the steps, but they would burst when you when you go to cook them. They just came out very funny. And so I put that whole idea aside for a while. Then 2020 and COVID happened, and everything shut down and everyone was trying to, figure out their lives. And at that point, I was trying to also figure out what was going to happen with my life, my career. And I went and I opened my cupboard, and lo and behold, I found all the spices that I had made the previous year, and they were all just sitting there, all of them fantastic products, but they had been neglected for a bit. And I discovered that I had a product. I actually had a product, but I did not have a business. It is possible to have a product and not have a business. So that started me on the journey of figuring out how to take my product, which is very good in and of itself, and to convert this into an actual profitable business. And that has been my journey from 2020. It has been up and down. Sometimes we stopped production because of challenges here and there. And now we came up until the point where we now have our range of products and we're ready to get into the market. I started my business journey without a plan. A lot of times you're told you have to plan a business. Mine started without a plan. And I feel like sometimes maybe that's the best way to do, so that if I had thought at that point of everything that I was going to experience now, I probably would not have started the journey. So I just started. I got excited about it, and I went to Kirdi and started making in very small batches. Then what happened after I posted my first product, that was actually this was one of the first products that I posted. When I did that, a friend of mine also picked it up and posted it on her own profile. And then somebody in her group also saw that and called me and said, I want to sell your product. Just from looking at it, she felt that this was a quality product, and she became my first reseller. And she inspired me, because she gave me the confidence that my product was good, and she would now come back every week and make her orders. And that is essentially how my business started. As for capital, it was just my savings. I took from my personal savings, and I would go and sometimes mess up in the course of production, but essentially it's been a long journey. It wasn't like I had lump sum of capital that I used to start my business. In 2020, when I had my first reseller, my business started to pick up, because now then I would get orders. She would call me and tell me, I need product worth 20,000, or I need product worth 30,000. And that was my first good thing and my first bad thing, because I realized very quickly that I did not have my processes in place. That was one of my first lessons, because I could not produce enough to meet the demand that I was getting. And so my first customer actually got frustrated, and she told me, you know what, I can't do this because you're spoiling my name, because we have to have continuous production. At that point, I was producing in Kirdi. Kirdi has a capacity where you can produce up to around 50 kg of the raw product at a time. But in doing that, my product is unique. It is not like a cake. A cake, you take a cup of flour and you make a big cake. Mine, you take the big one and you convert it to very little. So the 50 kg would convert to about 3 kg of the actual end product. And now I realized very quickly that this was not going to be sustainable. So I had to start looking for a place where I could continue doing my production in bulk. And at some point I stopped production, and the company had to now take a break, as we had to restructure and look for a way that was practical and feasible, that we could continue doing our production. So my picking up has been up, and then I meet a challenge, and then I stop, and then I go up again, and then I meet a challenge, and then I stop. And that has been my journey up to even now as we speak. It's a very interesting question, because my journey has been up, stop, down, then pick up again, and then stop. And if anybody is in business and you're afraid of that falling down, then it is very hard to grow, because it is in that falling down that you go and you analyze what you need. What does my business need? How do I change? What do I need to change? For example, I was very comfortable making my small amounts, and then I was very happy to get resellers. At some point I had 3 resellers who were carrying everything that I was making, but then I could not now as an individual meet that demand. And at some point again, Kirdi is a government facility, and there are other people who are also using the same equipment, so you cannot go there and process every day like it is your own business. And so I had to stop. At some point I had to just stop production and go for a few months and then figure out what else I was going to do. At some point also, you make all that and then you sell it, and then the money is gone. It has, you did not necessarily make a profit, or you needed to buy equipment and you needed to do something else, and the money is finished, and now I have to go back and figure out where my next money to get my next stock is going to come from. So I can't say that there has been a consistent flow where there was no mistake and there was no falling. There will always be. In fact, that has been my learning, that you have to make mistakes, and your mistakes are actually very, very good for your business in the long run, in the future. One of my biggest challenges has been myself as the founder and CEO of this brand, facing my internal fears, my internal insecurities, and stepping over those and pushing on with the business. Sometimes you feel like you have failed the business completely. Sometimes you feel like, what am I doing really? Am I actually doing the right thing? When the business is good, everything is happy, but when it is not, then you begin questioning yourself. I question myself a lot. Sometimes it has taken a lot to pick myself up and get my business running. So one of my biggest challenges has been me as the owner of the business, thinking like an entrepreneur, having that strength to continue going even when I am at my very, very bottom. Another challenge is an interesting one, and that happened this year. From the very beginning of this year, I found my business taking a tangent and taking a new direction. I would start getting orders from people and they want to buy things in bulk. For example, somebody would call me and ask me, are you able to make a ton of ingredient X? And I had to figure out, and it started, I felt that I was, again now, I needed to restructure my business so that I would accommodate this business, because sometimes selling items in this quantity can be a challenge. How many of this do you need to sell before you're able to meet your own dreams, your own personal dreams, right? You want to buy a car, build a house, retire, fly out, go on vacation and all that. So how many of these are you going to sell by the time you get to that level? And that means I needed to think about my business and my business plan and my business model so that I could now be able to get the kind of revenue that I was looking for. And that was a challenge. It has been a challenge. I am looking for capital to now move away from the place that I have been doing my production, which again now ended up being too small, so that I'm able now to do in bulk production and meet the demand that I am getting. It has been an up and down journey. It's a beautiful journey, but it's going to test you in every way. Diversification of my products has been a journey also. I started with about 10 products. Those were the basic: ginger, garlic, paprika, just the normal that you'll find in your supermarket. And every once in a while, somebody would call me and say, do you do beetroot? And I would go and research, and I would find that it fits into my personal profile for my business. Why? My business is about health food. So in doing health food, then somebody would come and ask me a question, and I would find myself coming up with a new product. It is, I don't know if that is diversifying. It is just increasing my catalog of the products that I am making. So this now would be a product that I would know personally is meeting my goal of giving people something that is healthy. Beetroot is very good for your blood. It's very good for your heart. It's very good for your stomach. So I added that. Then I would go on and somebody would ask me, do you do stevia? And stevia, for example, is a herb. This is stevia. So this is a herb. It is a plant, but in it is 30 times sweeter than sugar. And this again fits into my product profile, because I am trying to give people an alternative for sugar, which we know is one of the causes of many of the diseases that we are having. And so I would diversify, I would increase my portfolio again. It becomes a challenge, because now having a list of 25 different products, then that makes my production schedule quite challenging to make sure that I have enough stock at any given time. So diversification does bring a lot of challenges with it. So what have I been able to achieve so far? I have a line of very, very, very good products. Each of these products, I feel personally very proud that I have a line of very good product, very high quality product, very nutritional product, made under very high hygienic conditions. I have a very, very good product. That is one of the main things that I am proud of. I am also proud of my packaging, how I have done my product. This has taken a lot of trial and error, up and down, a lot of mistakes, but at the end I feel like I have a very good line of product. Now my business is at the point of scaling up. One of the things that are holding me back is my need to be able to do things in a larger scale, and then to get a proper market where I can consistently sell my products. For most of the part, my product is handled by third-party agents. What do I mean? Once I have finished my production, I send it to a warehouse, which is a company that is called Sandy Fulfillment. They do the warehousing and they do the delivery of my products. I deliver countrywide. So in doing that, then I am not the direct employer of the people who are doing the warehousing and the delivery. However, they they do employ, and so in that way I have those employees. But in terms of production, every time I'm doing production, then I have a team that I engage every time that I am doing production. So one of the other things that I consider an achievement, and I feel like I am just at the very beginning, it is something that has a lot of opportunity, is to be able, one, to empower farmers. This stevia is grown by specific farmers who are in Western Kenya, and I want my company to grow. Right now I'm able to buy from them, and I'm looking to expand and to grow so that I am able to purchase their product directly from the farm at very good prices. At least we cut off the middlemen who sometimes squeeze out from the farmers. Then the other thing that I am very excited about is being able to create opportunity for the people that are going to take part in the production of my products. From the people who transport it to the people who help in the cleaning, in the peeling, in the slicing, in the drying, in the milling. That's an entire group of people who I work with on a regular basis. It's something that I am happy to be able to do, and that I pray that I will be able to increase and do in a better way. Have I ever thought of closing down? Yes. That was one part of my journey, and I think it's part of the journey of entrepreneurs, where you ask yourself, is this business really going to help me meet all my dreams and everything that I am hoping to do? And sometimes it is frustrating. You have done everything that you know how to do, and then things do not seem to be picking up the way you wanted them to. You go and you pay for advertisements and you pay for people to market, and the results are not there. And yes, there are times when I've just felt, maybe I need to just go and rethink everything again. And I thank God for people who encourage me and who call me and say, your stuff is good, your product is very, very, very good, keep it up, go ahead and do it. It is within those networks that you find the strength to pick it up again and to run on and to do something in a unique way, or to keep on, just to wake up tomorrow and to stay at it. One of my friends told me 90% of the battle is showing up. And sometimes that's the hardest thing, to just show up and continue doing. So keep on doing it, and being consistent is part of my journey. But there are lots of times when I've thought, I might need to rethink this. Then every time somebody comes and gives me guidance, shows me, points me to something that I need to do differently, and it has always made the difference. My business actually started during COVID. I was there when the country was shutting down and everything was happening. It was within that I felt I needed to rethink a lot of things in my life, and that is when my business actually started in earnest. I'd made the sausages before and done all those things before, but this was a point where I now fully committed to fresh grinds and blends. I got the company registered. I started figuring out how to do my production, to do my labels, where to get the jars, where to get the producers, the farmers, and all those things. So COVID was what pushed me out essentially from a comfort zone to make me actually start this business. Where I would want to be, I would want to get to a point where I am able to go to farmers and do what is called contract farming, where I would just tell them, plant 1 acre of beetroot, 5 acres of beetroot, I will come and buy it because I have the market for it. Ideally, I would be able to sell countrywide and regionally, and even be able to export. It is something that I pray that I shall be able to do in the near future. Ideally, I would want to have my product as a well-known brand, and to be able to get it into the people who really, really appreciate a good product. The other thing that I would want to do is that I would want to establish my own production facility. That would be ideal for me because it would cut out a lot of the expenses that I am actually currently having to undertake in terms of transport, in terms of the electricity, in terms of the facility that I'm using, that is a commercial facility. So ideal would be that I do production in my facility and I am able to upscale in a smooth way. A lot of my journey has been trial and error. A lot of it has been mistakes. And it would be ideal if there was a government facility or a one-stop window where I would just come with my idea and say, this is what I am making, and have somebody to guide you throughout the whole process. What do I mean? By the time I discovered Kirdi, which is where I learned how to make my spices, I had been making my product and failing, and they are not working, and I did not know where I could get any form of assistance. Then after that, somebody mentioned Kirdi, and I went to Kirdi, and Kirdi take you so far. They teach you how to make your product. After Kirdi, you need to go to KEBS. KEBS now are going to standardize, they are going to give you the standard mark. From KEBS, you need to figure out actually, before KEBS, you need to figure out where to buy the jars, where to get labels, who prints the labels, at what point. There is where now you get the barcode. There's all those things are things that a lot of people who are entrepreneurs have to do all by themselves, and a lot of people give up in the journey. It would be good if there was a one-stop window where all this information from end to end, up to the point of where you are actually selling your product into the market. I know there are various government organizations, but all of them are something that you go, you learn here, and then you figure it out, and then it's always like a mountain that you have to climb. So if I were to ask the government to facilitate something, it would be that. Also, just the easing of some of the costs that we undergo, like the electricity costs, all the licenses that are needed to get all this together, are quite a challenge. So that would be something that I would really appreciate if I had the assistance. Future plans for the business. One, I think I have mentioned, is to establish my own production facility. This is going to help me with my production facility. It is also going to be a facility that other people who are doing production like I am can come and also be able to do their drying and their making of their product in a nice environment and at affordable prices. I hope to get into export, to be able to export my product in bulk to European market, to the American market, to the Asian market. That is somewhere that I plan to be. So in essence, my future plan is to grow this brand out of the small scale it is right now and grow to an SME, a proper SME. Right now I'm a micro SME, to grow into an SME and to grow much bigger. My advice to anyone who wants to start this kind of business: just start. Just do it. Don't worry about capital. Capital will find you. These things tend to catch somebody who is already in motion. If you stop and think about everything that you're going to need to do, you might never start. So start it, but start it in a small way, and then ask questions. There are a lot of people who are currently doing, the Bible says there is no new thing under the sun. So somebody else has done everything that it is that you're thinking of doing. So go out, find somebody who is doing it already, and ask questions, and then just start. You will find your way in the course of it. It will be challenging, but those are what builds your muscle, so that your business muscles, you are able to tackle situations because you have been able to endure them. So if you're looking to start anything at all, go ahead and just start. Don't wait. For the young people who are looking for something to do, anything absolutely that you decide to do, will be successful. If you do it and you do it continuously. Don't do it now a little bit here and then you see, oh, that one has started growing cabbages, and then you run and start growing cabbages, and then you see, oh, this one now has bought a matatu, and then you try to go to a matatu. You will not win. So whatever it is that you lay your hands to do, this is a product that is available right now. You can get black pepper, you can go and you will find it. If this is what you have decided to do, do it. Learn everything there is to know about making this product and then continue doing it. You will fail, and failure is not a bad thing, it is a good thing. And then you pick up and you continue doing it. After a while, you'll discover that your journey has taken you to higher and higher and higher levels. So whatever it is, anything, absolutely anything, whether you're making shoes, whether you're cleaning clothes, whatever it is that you're doing, making mandazis, baking, do it, and do it excellently, and keep on doing it. Don't give up. So Fresh Grinds and Blends is a manufacturer of pure natural products. So this, for example, is my ginger powder. It is made of 100% pure ginger. We have our tomato powder. So what this does, we get tomatoes from the farm and we make a very flavorful product that this, you can use it in all your meals, you sprinkle it into your food and it will make for you a thick, nice, tasty gravy. You can go and visit my website, www.freshgrinds.co.ke. Visit my Instagram, on fresh_grinds. Facebook is Fresh Grinds. So my products are there. You will get fantastic, beautiful products. There is garlic, there is ginger. We also do herbs. We also do, all these are dry products that are going to be very, very rich for your food. Remember, all of these products are very good for your body. You see, the Bible says that God created all things and he said to man, I give you all these things for your food. Now in your food, God gave us medicine. God gave us what was going to nurture and build. So this is turmeric, for example, which is very good, especially for people who are having arthritis, people who are having stomach problems. This is very good to add to your food. But here's the thing, do not wait until you're sick so that you can start adding these things to your food. Add ginger, add garlic to your food. Don't do it in very large amounts that is going to again become a problem. But take them on a regular basis. God gave us these things for food, and in our food is our medicine. So take all my products. They are going to be very, very good for your stomach, for your body, so that you are building your immunity. So if you want to get a hold of me and get a hold of my product, you can reach me on my social media handles. Instagram, fresh_grinds. Facebook, Fresh Grinds. My website, www.freshgrinds.co.ke. From there you shall be able to get my products. We deliver our products countrywide. So wherever you are, you can order my products. You will be able to get them at anywhere in the country. And here's the good thing, whether you're in Nairobi or you're in Mombasa, the delivery cost is exactly the same. So we'll just charge you around, per jar will be about 100 bob to deliver. Whether you're in Nairobi or Mombasa, delivery cost will be exactly the same. It is very, very affordable. Feel free to order my products. They are fantastic. Thank you for watching PrayerCaveTV. This is a blessing. Stay tuned. God bless you. God bless you richly.